Sound has begun for
Welcome to the Louisa Project 2027, where we discuss education, innovation, and entrepreneurship. On today's show, let's stop. We're going to do a little housekeeping. As I said, this is Louisa Project 2027. Please subscribe to us on Spreaker and on YouTube. And additionally, please subscribe to the Benjamin Dixon channel on YouTube and Spreaker as well. That's our flagship show for the Progressive Army, and all our other Progressive Army platforms. Please take some time to support them, and I guess we'll move on with the show. In our first segment, we're going to discuss 4-year degrees at community colleges. In our second segment, we're going to discuss leadership competencies. In our third segment, third and final segment, we're going to discuss general business statistics and our tools segment. Okay. Now let's, without any further ado, let's press on with our first segment. Traditionally, community colleges, technical colleges, and junior colleges. Traditionally, they're two-year schools. You go there, you get a 2-year degree, associate's degree, or something less, a certificate or diploma, depending on which school it is, and you move on to a career or move on to a 4-year institution. That's typically how it works. But now, some community colleges, especially those that don't have a 4-year degree granting institution close by, have decided, okay, in some fields, it just makes sense to have a 4-year degree from the local community college. And there's really nothing really to be upset about. Now, there is some competition that may or may not create some competition. It depends on how it's managed between 4-year institutions and your average community college who's trying to do this. But many of the community colleges see there are places in the market that community colleges are more flexible and can get in and help, especially when it comes to workforce development, can get in and create these degrees at a lower cost than the 4-year institutions, and better serve the community. So let's get into what's going on within this innovation. According to Walter G. Bumpus, the president and CEO of the American Association of Community Colleges, implementing baccalaureate degrees at community colleges is at its heart about preserving access to higher education for all students. And that kind of touches on what I spoke about before, is that these 2-year colleges, these community colleges, oftentimes are places closest to the community, right? That people don't have the ability to travel to a faraway campus and take these courses. So this kind of helps in that regard. And also there's also the issue of the digital divide, right? Many schools offer online education, but not everyone has access in their home, right? So we have to be conscious of that, and people need these traditional classroom settings in order to get their degree. All right. And many of these, and I spoke about it before, that many of these 2-year institutions are working closely, especially here in Alabama, are working closely with local industry. Perhaps, for instance, local industry may be missing. There may be some skill sets missing in skills or career fields that are missing in the local community that could help the local businesses, right? So, for instance, if there's a dearth of office managers, right? We need people to manage the administrative side within our office, and we need the community across the businesses in that community. There's a need for that. So community colleges can quickly build up in order to meet that need, mobilize in order to meet that need. So there's really a lot to be said for doing things this way. Let's go a little bit deeper into this. Currently, there are 19 states with 87 colleges involved that have 650 different programs for a degree, right? And there are 4 more states trying to do 4-year degrees at community colleges. We're gonna talk about one community college in particular, South Texas College in McAllen, Texas. All right. The Rio Grande Valley is one of the poorest and one of the most impoverished cosmopolitan areas in the United States, one of 2, right? And the community, South Texas College, has decided that they're going to try to fill a need, right? So they're trying to they're going to use the information they have about the local business community, where the requirements are, and they're going to create 2-year and 4-year programs for these degrees. So, which is something that's very valuable. So every step of the way, you're gaining something, whether that's you start off with a 1-year certificate, and that 2nd year you have your associate's degree. In the 3rd year, perhaps you'll have a diploma. And in that 4th year, you walk away with a bachelor's degree. So oftentimes this stretches out to more than 4 years because people have lives, and and it's hard to continue to stay in college. But the point is to give people a way to get an education and fulfill their requirements for their chosen field. That's very, very, very important. I want to read something to you from Dr. Ali Ismaili, who is the Dean of Math Sciences and Bachelor's Degree Programs at South Texas College. He says the direct and indirect benefits of these programs, of these degree programs, for our students in the community are manifold and have truly contributed to transforming the region. First, students and their families are able to aspire to better employment opportunities and higher standards of living. Second, the availability of more educated workforce encourages companies to relocate to South Texas. Now, that's it in a nutshell, right? If you have an educated workforce ready to go, you can attract companies, right? You can attract companies to come down and bring jobs to your community. It's very important. Now, we must. I can't, as a progressive, I can't go on without mentioning that sometimes this can be negative, right? So you have, suppose you have a community that has, in general, has very low standards, a very low floor for wages, right? Sometimes you add a little, that floor may be at, let's say, $8 an hour is the bottom range of the median, is the bottom range for that community, right? You add a little education, that may go up to 10 or 12, but still that's not in a range for the higher wages, right? So let's keep that in mind when we talk about communities like this, right? Because a lot of companies will, on the negative side, will come to communities like this. Okay, this is a low wage community. They're getting a little education, so we may be able to get what we want at a lower price than we would elsewhere. Now, the community gains. There's no negative there. The company gains. There's no negative there. But at the same time, where are those businesses leaving? What are they leaving behind? Right. So these are the things we have to think about on a macro level. Okay. But again, the community college in South Texas College in McAllen, Texas, is doing the right thing. So let's just keep that in mind. There's something else to think about. In South Texas, on average, a 4-year degree with tuition and books is going to cost you about $50,000. All right. This, and with the South Texas College, you're looking at $10,000 for a 4-year degree. That is a huge, huge, huge difference for people that don't have much. So that Pell Grant or your money will go up much further with a degree from one of these 2-year institutions. Well, formerly 2-year institutions. Well, I guess they're still community college, but they have 4-year programs. Very important. Now, as we said, this is a disruptive innovation, right? This has been going on. Community colleges have been doing this for 20 years, right, on a small scale. But because of trying to bend the cost curve an accessibility curve, as we like to try to do here, community colleges are broadening their offerings. So in order to give more people more opportunity for higher education, which is absolutely amazing. And we want to continue on that path, right? But there are some conflicts sometimes with four-year institutions in the region, all right? Sometimes a lot of these four-year institutions really can't argue because these people can't get to your classrooms, right? Because they're just simply too far away. So but at the same time, nobody wants to lose out. So it will behoove two-year institutions trying to do this to have a long talk with the local four-year institutions or the closer four-year institutions, and make sure they're not stepping on each other's toes. Very important. All right. Many see this as mission erosion, so to speak, right? I'm not buying that argument. Okay, along with working closely with colleges, with businesses and the four-year colleges, right? You have to work closely with the community, right? That's one of the things that you can't lose sight of, right? So your marketing and advertising has to be on point, and it has to reach the community at large. So if you know that the community at large, again, the digital divide, they're not online, they're not going to be online as much as other communities might be. You need to adjust your marketing and advertising, but I'll leave that up to these organizations, right? So one of the areas that has seen a boom in these two-year institutions is nursing, right? So a two-year nursing degree can lead you to a great career. Now, many of these same organizations, some of these same schools are now having four-year degrees, and many organizations are all for this. One of them is the Association of Colleges of Nursing, right? They are all for this. Efforts to expand the availability of baccalaureate nursing programs and increase in the number of baccalaureate prepared nurses nationwide are consistent with the association's work and create a more highly educated nursing workforce. Let's go. With the increase in healthcare requirements, there's going to be a need for nurses. There's going to be a need for doctors. There's going to be a need for health administrators, and as hopefully as our healthcare system becomes even better, as it improves, these requirements will also increase. So let's keep an eye on that. Okay. And in closing, I'd like to read something from something else from this article. The community college and baccalaureate program allows for incorporation of multiple innovative approaches, such as online and hybrid courses, stackable credentials, internships, service learning, credit for prior learning, and competency-based education, Glasper says. Taking a CCB, community college baccalaureate, to scale can be the next innovation impacting access, retention, completion, and and time to degree cost. So we want to impact cost. We want to impact accessibility. So these are the two things: time to degree and cost. Those are very, very, very important. Now that you've heard that challenge, I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm not even going to poke at this one, right? So if you have a great idea about improving the process for community colleges to increase access to a increase access to a college education, and how more colleges can advance four-year degrees, let's have a talk about it. You can reach us you can reach me at Mike_Redwine or Louisa Project 2027. Both of these are up here. That's Louisa Project 2027 and Mike_Redwine. Okay. We also monitor the hashtag LP 2027. So let's do that. Let's keep an eye out. Let's use that hashtag to get our attention. If you want to come on the show and have a discussion about that, or we just do an interview about that, or you want to just send me an article, a good idea, something to think about, just go ahead and send it, and we'll work from there. All right, that's it for this segment. Just hold on. We'll get to this commercial, and we'll do the next segment. All right. Have a great one. Thank you. Hey, let's take a short break. If you enjoy smart, progressive commentary, go to the Benjamin Dixon Show channel Monday through Thursday. On Mondays, you have the Benjamin Dixon Show starting at 9 o'clock. On Tuesdays, you have The Way with Anoa starting at 8 and Ben again at 9. On Wednesdays, the Benjamin Dixon Show starts at 9 o'clock. On Thursdays at 8, it's the Scandinavian Perspective with Ms. Pedersen. Then Ben starts again at 9 o'clock. Please tune in to the Benjamin Dixon Show channel on YouTube and subscribe. Okay, let's get back to work. Welcome back to the Louisa Project 2027. In this next segment, we're going to discuss the most important leadership competencies according to leaders around the world. There was a study done. This article's from Suni Giles from the Harvard Business Review. The study was done among 195 leaders from 15 countries and 30 global organizations, which is massive, right? When we talk about leaders, each leader chose competencies of a list of 74 competencies. They chose the top 15. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're not going to go through this whole article. What we're going to do is we're going to list these top ones and just kind of try to flesh them out a little bit and give you an idea what leadership competencies look like and what's important to these global organizations. So as you tackle your creating your business or developing your idea, you can develop yourself as a leader so you can manage the growth of that idea or manage the path forward for that idea. And leadership is a big part of that, right? And if you're lucky enough that your idea becomes something global, right? This is something to think about. This is how global leaders see leadership, and it's very important that you understand these things. Okay, so I'm just going to go down the top ones on the list. At 67% of the participants chose this one within their 15. Has a high ethical and moral standards. You want that out of your leaders, right? You're not always going to get that, but you want a leader that is moral and ethical. Very, very, very important. It's much easier to follow someone like that, because basically that builds trust, right? And trust is so important in leadership. Okay, so we're going to go down to the next one. Provides goals, objectives with loose guidelines and direction. That's important. You want goals and objectives, but you also want your people thinking and being active in creating the great ideas that are going to make your business grow. Right. So you want to express broad principles, and try to get your people to do the best they can to create strategies that will fulfill those principles. This gives them room to grow, gives them room to express their own leadership. And it's very, very important that you allow your people to do that. If you're too strict in what you want, if you're too closed-minded is a bad term, but if you're too strict on what you require in your leadership, it constricts your people, and it doesn't lead to great outcomes, right? Excuse me. And next on the list is 56%. Clearly communicates expectations. All right. Now, along these lines, if I have particular expectations that I have for my people or for my organization, I have to clearly express that. Even if it's in broad terms, I have to clearly express that. So, as a leader, all right, that's part of your having great communication skills, being able to create an environment where you can express your expectations, and people use their own mind and their own initiative and their own innovation to build into those expectations. Very, very, very important. Has it the number this is number 4 at 52%. Has flexibility to change opinions. Right. So if you've done well and you've hired great people, they're going to bring you things that challenge you. They're going to bring you things that don't fit into your perspectives of whatever particular thing that they're working on. Right. They may bring you something that is totally counter to what you thought was the situation, right? But if they bring a good argument and they come with good evidence, you have to be willing to change your mind. And people in the long run, people will respect that, right? But you also have to challenge your people to bring you good evidence. Don't dismiss it out of hand because it hurts your personal feelings. But at the same time, force them to bring you a good argument. It would only make them better and make them better leaders. Something to think about. At 43%, number 5, committed to my ongoing training. When your people, when you're the people that you lead understand that you're on their side, even if it means they move on to something else, that goes a long way. And you want people that move on to something else. That's part of how you build your network, right? So if you just try to have this silo and you, as we used to say in the Army, when I was in the Army, they treat you like a mushroom. They keep you in the dark and feed you shit. Excuse my French, right? If you try to run an organization like that, you're not helping people grow. You want people to flourish. Again, even if you have somebody that goes on and does something else, they're part of your network, right? Be positive about that. They're part of your network. They're going on to bigger and better. That means you can help them go on to bigger and better. That helps you. The better they do, the better you'll do. All right? So let's think about that. So you have to be open-minded enough and adult enough to help them get where they want to go or get where they need to go. Communicates at 42%, communicates often and openly. You have to let your people know what's going on. You can't be in your office, not talking to people, not letting your people know what's going on. You have to let them know where things are going, where the future of your company is going, whether it's the future of the company or where the key to the restroom is. Whatever it is, you have to openly communicate that, right? There are some, obviously there are some things that you don't want to share or you can't share, but depending on the timing. But at the same time, when you do communicate openly and honestly, and people will respect that a whole lot more. All right. Number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, number 7 is open to new ideas and approaches. Important. Again, like we talked, new ideas keep your business fresh. All right. Somebody on one of your teams may come to, hey boss, I got an idea, or hey Mike, hey Johnny, I got a great idea about how to better market this item. You better listen. Especially if they're younger, right? These young folks, they have a lot of great ideas. You better listen. Even if you you force them to create a business case for it, right? Forces them to think through the process or think through their idea, right? And it also brings you a fully formed idea, right? And they've already tackled the risks. They've already tackled how they're going to do it, the where, what, when, how, and why, right? They've tackled that already. So it gives you a white paper to work with that idea, right? And they've had an opportunity to build something from their idea, right? So, and it makes them better leaders, better managers, and better employees. Nobody loses, right? I must say I stole that from my wife's previous job when we were in Egypt, was working for key facilities management from the UK. Her boss, Stan Mitchell, facilities management guru, forced her and her colleagues, if you had an idea, you had to think it through. You had to business case it. And that forces you to think about what are the impacts, what are the long and short term and medium term impacts of this idea, okay? How much is this idea going to cost to implement, right? Is it beneficial enough to implement, right? If it's something that's going to cost you more than you gain from it, leave it alone, right? Unless, of course, we're not just talking about money as well, right? If it's going to help the esprit de corps in the organization, sometimes that's even more valuable than cash. So that way of business casing it or writing a white paper on something, it helps people develop their ideas, and it gives you as a leader a developed idea you can use nearly immediately after you go through it, right? Something to think about. Thank you, Stan. All right. Number 8, at 38%, creates a feeling of succeeding and failing together. Being a coach, right? Making sure your team understands that everything that they do impacts everyone else, right? Not to the point where you have groupthink, but When we succeed together. When we fail together, right? Not, okay, when we succeed, hey, I did it, yay. And then when things go bad, oh yeah, my team, they were horrible. They didn't do anything right. I don't know what's going on there. I'll get them right, right? That's not leadership, right? That's not leadership. When your team is doing well, your team is doing well, not just you. Okay, I'm really proud of my team. It looks like they may win an award this year, and I'm really proud of them. If they don't win that award, I'm going to give them an award because they've done a great job. That's leadership, right? You don't leave them twisted in the wind. Number 9 at 38% helps me grow into the next generation leader. Again, we're going back to all these things we talked about before. You want to. Well, I had the saying. I had the saying. This was me. Real leaders make more leaders. That's leadership, right? If you see an organization where people are popping out or leaving that organization, going on to build new things, going here, going there, and there's no negative pushback from that organization, there's a good leader there. Whoever that is, you need to find out who that is and try to do things the way they do it, or try to take some ideas from that leader. All right, leadership is not easy, right? But one of the big benefits of doing it right is that you create another network, right? A broader network from which you can benefit from as well, right? So if you are running a large organization and you have 10, 15, 20 people branch out that you've helped develop. All right, they branch out to do their own thing. That's resources you can go get. Hey, Johnny, hey, it's me. Hey, long time no see. I need a favor. Right? You don't get turned down if you were a good leader and you help those people do well. Very rarely do you get turned down. So you benefit as well. I wish everything could be altruistic, but this is the way the world works, right? So be a better leader. You create great leaders. This is very important at 37%. To me, this is very important. Provides safety for trial and error, right? Great ideas don't come as easily as many people think, right? So you've got to give people an opportunity to take an idea, give it a shot, and if it doesn't work out, learn from it, and maybe perhaps try it again, try from another angle, right? But you've got to give your people the opportunity to make a few mistakes. Okay, let's have a little review of what went wrong. Okay, this is what we can do better next time, Even if it's not with that idea, they can take what they've learned and try that in another way, right? Okay, so that was the top ones that was the top 10 on that list of leadership competencies, right? So what I want you to do is think about the name of the article is the most important leadership competencies according to leaders around the world. Harvard Business Review, written by Suni Giles. So what your homework is to think about those things, those leadership competencies, and think about ways that you can develop into a better leader for yourself and for your team or your business or for your family, right? Something to think about. Again, my name is Mike Redwine. You can reach me at Mike_Redwine. Excuse me. Louisa Project 2027. Or the hashtag LP2027. We monitor that hashtag. So let us know what you think. Subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff, and on Spreaker. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll move on to our third segment. Thank you. Hey, let's take a short break. If you enjoy smart, progressive commentary, go to the Benjamin Dixon Show channel Monday through Thursday. On Mondays, you have the Benjamin Dixon Show starting at 9 o'clock. On Tuesdays, you have The Way with Anoa starting at 8 and Ben again at 9. On Wednesdays, the Benjamin Dixon Show starts at 9 o'clock. On Thursdays at 8, it's the Scandinavian Perspective with Ms. Pedersen. Then Ben starts again at 9 o'clock. Please tune in to the Benjamin Dixon Show channel on YouTube and subscribe. Okay, let's get back to work. Welcome back to Louisa Project 2027. In this segment, this is our tools segment, the third segment of the show. Today's show, we're going to discuss general business statistics, right? This is from SBA.gov. This is your main resource for building your business if if this is the direction you want to go in, right? So, with the SBA, we have four websites to help you do research for your business. Okay, so I'm just going to go down a list here. Again, it's on SBA.gov. Okay, you can look it up yourself. General business statistics. Okay, just going to run through these very quickly. North American Industry Classification System, or NAICS. That's what some people call it. That's the acronym spells NAICS, and your NAICS codes. Okay, each business industry has a code, all right, and there's subcodes and so on and so forth. But take a look, you'll see it yourself. All right, provides a standard use federal statistic agencies in classifying business establishments for the purpose of collecting, analyzing, and publishing statistical data related to the U.S. business economy. Information includes definition of each industry and background materials. NAICS is, to me, I'm a nerd. It's a very interesting website. Take a look at it, and so you have an idea what it's all about. And it's also important to know where in NAICS, how to classify your business. Okay, so moving on. FedStats, another great website, offers a full range of official statistics, information, and produced by more than 100 agencies. Site provides data, trends, trend information on topics such as economics, population trends, crime, education, healthcare, aviation, safety, energy use, farm production, and more. So this is very important for knowing more about what's going on in your industry, knowing how to choose a location for your business. A lot of great stuff going on here. Third, Statistical Abstract of the United States presents an authoritative and a comprehensive summary of statistics on the social, political, and economic conditions of the United States. If you need demographic information, local income, so on and so forth, a great place to look. Okay, and the fourth site, Statistics of U.S. Businesses, features a collection of data files created by the U.S. Census County business patterns, and annual series that provides subnational economic data by industry. Again, within your NAICS code, this gives you what's going on in the local county areas, right? Broken down by county. So it's good to have the local economic data, so you know again where to place your business, how your business may function, what your customer base looks like. A lot of great information can be gleaned from these four sites. Again, under General Business Statistics, North American Industry Classification System, or NAICS, FedStats, Statistical Abstract of the United States, Statistics of U.S. Businesses. Again, this is on SBA.gov. Go there. There's so much information and training. If you haven't been there yet, please go. If you've been watching the show and you haven't gone, we're both failing. Okay? Go to SBA.gov, get that information, and move forward. Okay? Next time we're going to stay in the area of statistics a little bit. And I guess that's it for the show. My name is Michael Redwine. You can reach me at Mike_Redwine on Twitter, or you can reach me at Louisa Project 2027, or we monitor the hashtag LP 2027. If you want to reach us, that's the best way to reach us. You can go to our website, louisaproject2027.org. We may be done by the time you see this. We'll see. we're working on it. Just know that. And I guess that's it. Thank you for giving us part of your day. Be sure to subscribe to us on Spreaker, as well as subscribe to us on YouTube. And again, please subscribe. Also subscribe to the Benjamin Dixon Show channel, and also subscribe to the Benjamin Dixon Show on Spreaker. Okay, and go to progressivearmy.com and read everything there. I did a series of articles there called a continuing series of articles there called Entrepreneur Homework. So if you're just getting started in the world of entrepreneurship, some great ideas to think about, especially protecting your idea if you're one of those bright minds. So I guess that's it. Thank you again for coming by, and hope you enjoyed the show. We could use the feedback. Just let me know something, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.
Months now has begun.